Today we'll be discussing how to correctly document CLS hours on your progress notes. First, what is CLS? CLS stands for Community Living Support. CLS is the time where you work with your client on their goals that are in the IPOS. Before we start, there are a few things you will need to check. First, make sure that you're using the notes for the correct client by checking the consumer's name at the very top of the page. Next, check the authorization dates to be sure you are using up-to-date notes. Notes that are not up-to-date will not be accepted. So, even if you have old notes left over, they cannot be used past the authorization date. Notes will not be accepted if authorization is expired. Also, be sure you have enough notes for that pay period. Each day gets its own progress note, a front and a back page. Lastly, do not use whiteout, cross out, or erase dates on your notes for any reason. This will result in no pay. So, be sure to write with dark-colored pen, no pencil, and no typing. Once you have established all these things, you can begin filling out the notes. The first thing you will start with is writing the date at the top of the front page of that day that you worked. After you write the date, write your name by staff name. Sometimes your name is already typed in. Then, you will go down to the chart where you start documenting what you and your client did that day. First, go to the start and stop time. You will have to document for each hour that you work. So, each row is for a maximum of 1 hour. For example, if you are working CLS hours from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., the first row would be 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. The next row will be 9:01 a.m. to 10 a.m. The following row will be 10:01 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then 11:01 a.m. to 12 p.m., and so on. Make sure to circle a.m. or p.m. as well. After the times, you will move on to the task section. This is where you will write what goal you worked on for that hour. This section needs to be filled out every hour. Make sure to include the words that are in your goals section. Look to the IPOS and include the action words that you see in the goals section. For example, if one of the goals is staff will assist client with personal hygiene, in the task section you can write staff assisted client with morning routine. Some other action words you might see on your notes are teach, manage, encourage, help, express, redirect, identify, engage, practice, participate, and monitor. Next, you will move on to the objective section. This section also needs to be filled out every hour that you work. It is also very important to get this step correct. When looking at your goals section, located above the chart on your progress notes, look at what goal you are working on for that hour. So, 1A is staff assisted client with personal hygiene. In the objective section, you will write 1A. All CLS hours will start with 1. After the objective section is the progress section. For this, you will just need to check off one of the progress boxes based on your member's progress for that hour. Same, decreased, or improved. This section will also need to be filled out for every hour. Next is the comment section. In this section, explain how the goal was achieved for that hour. For example, if the task was staff-assisted client with morning routine, for the comment you will put how you assisted the client. So, you can write that John brushed his teeth and hair with verbal prompts. The verbal prompts were how you assisted John. There does not need to be a comment for every hour you work, but we do ask that more than 50% of the comments be filled out for each day. For example, if you worked an 8-hour shift, there needs to be at least 5 comments for that day. If you worked 4 hours, there needs to be at least 3 comments. After the comment section, be sure to put your initials. Even if you did not write a comment for that hour, you need to initial every hour. After all these sections are filled out for the CLS hours that day, be sure to have both your signature and the guardian or parent of the client at the bottom of the second page for each day that you work. Also, make sure the dates are filled out next to both signatures and are the same as the front page of the notes. A few questions that may come up. First, can respite and CLS hours be on the same day? And the answer is yes. They just cannot be on the same hour. Also, make sure that you do not go over your CLS and respite hours per day or per week. You can find this on the top of the front page of your notes. Another question you might have is, do CLS and respite hours need to be on separate pages? No, they do not. All hours you worked for that day, both CLS and respite, can be on the same progress note. But if you would like to document them on separate pages, you can. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact ProCare Unlimited anytime. Thank you all so much for watching our CLS video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more, and have a great day.